Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cam. Happy New Year, by the way. And today is a very exciting video because I don't know exactly what day this will go out, but I started YouTube in January last year. We're approaching my 1 year here on YouTube, and I figured what better way to celebrate than to make the same video that I made for my very first video last year. So welcome to my 2026 TBR video, better named my 26 for 2026. I actually just went back and watched my 25 for 2025, and let's just say it's crazy what a year of practice talking to a camera and editing will do. So anyways, I just wanted to say I've had so much fun this year. I'm hoping to maybe get out a little bit more content this year. I am a full-time university student, so I only uploaded I think 7 videos last year. Not bad, but we're gonna aim higher. In all seriousness though, this is something that I've wanted to do for so long, and I've had such a fun year just biting the bullet and making the YouTube channel. So this is your sign if you're thinking the same thing. You can also follow me on TikTok and Bookstagram to see what I'm up to over there. I post a lot more on stories and reels and things like that. But like I said, we're gonna prioritize more long form if possible this year. So without further ado, let's get started. I figured I could start by talking about my 25 for 2025, seeing the progress on that, maybe my book bracket. Spoiler alert, I couldn't pick a favorite if I tried. But like I said, this was my first video that I made in January of 2025. And I just kind of listed all of the books that I wanted to read last year and why. So that's how this is gonna go. But first, I just wanted to mention that I actually only read 20 of these. So I filled them in as I went. So this is quite humbling. The only nonfiction on this list was Loud by Drew F. Wallow, her memoir self-help book. And I actually picked it up a few times at the bookstore and for some reason never went with it. I do still really want to read that. Then we have One Dark Window. Don't know why I didn't get to this. I know there's so much hype around those books, so I'm gonna carry that one forward this year. Then we have Cold Truth by Ashley Kalayjian Blunt, and if you remember, she is in fact my cousin. I told her I would read it last year and I didn't. So that's my bad. It is carrying forward as well. The fourth book that I didn't finish on this list is Heartless Hunter, but I actually just received this from Morgan Book at Off the Shelf Podcast, so there's high hopes because now this is on my physical TBR. And then I have The Institute by Stephen King, which I was so hopeful that I was gonna read my first Stephen King book last year, and it just didn't happen. So all of these are moving into my 26 for 2026, which leaves us with 21 more to talk about. This is the difference between a completely full 2025 journal and my brand new 2026 journal. They're the same book, I love them, and let's talk about 2026. Here's a quick rundown of all the bookish pages I've started in here. I mentioned on my short form content that the theme this year is nostalgic media. So I have a copy of Goodnight Moon I'm gonna chop up. I have Arthur stickers and Busytown stickers. So every month title page will be something fun and cute from my childhood, which I love. So I don't have a title page for 2026. I'm going to put a little piece of each theme. I haven't written down my goals so I can show you. This page looks the same every year. I'm a creature of habit. Here is what we're talking about today. The title is ugly, but we're not afraid of paper around here. So it is what it is. Then we have my BPM page, which is also always the same. And this will be where I track my reads. I color them in by star rating. Obviously there's no books on the shelves yet, and I haven't colored BPM in. But look how cute these stickers are. Are you joking right now? Can you, oh. Hello. I really hope things have been focusing. Good enough. Then I've got my physical TBR. This is obviously a work in progress and I will add to it throughout the year. So I've got some blank space. This page is new for me. I put in a series tracker. I just think this is a good way to like see what I'm in the middle of and what I need to start. I really want to read The Hunger Games. Ideally all of them before November, that would be awesome. The sticker is just so stinking cute though. I love it, the little reading chair. I don't quite know what I'll do on the page beside it yet. I just saw someone basically started a page where they're just gonna put like the price tags, the discount, the Heather's Pick stickers on a page. So I figured I could maybe do that. I don't really know. This is always the same font, podcasts of the year. But obviously we're here to talk about my 2026 TBR. So let's get into it. I'm so glad that I went back and watched last year's video because one of the first things I say is I decorated my Kindle with all of my personality traits. Obviously, Brooke and Connor are on there because that's where I learned to be so obsessive from. So you know where I'm going with this. The very first book on this list is Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It by Brooke Averick. I am so excited for that book. I have been groveling my hardest for an arc. It's not working. I just had Kat post me on her story the other day and she couldn't find the birthday cake Drizzlicious. And I DM'd her that I would ship her some Canadian Drizzlicious if I could have a Phoebe arc. It's getting bad, but I'm just saying. Brooke, if you're watching, I have been shamelessly begging for an arc. I'm seeing people read it and it's like making me so excited, but I would adore to hold Phoebe in my hands right now. My jelly cat is named Phoebe after Phoebe Berman before I even knew what the book was going to be about and I knew the title. Anyways, moving on. I'll talk about that all day. Next on the list is Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. I just watched her on Call Her Daddy talking about this and it was such a good interview. Alex was asking some really good questions and this is Jeanette's first fiction book and it seems like she's really passionate about it. I'm so excited to get my hands on that as well. I also just found out that I'm Glad My Mom Died is being turned into a TV show with Jennifer Aniston playing her mom. I don't know how that information missed me, but I had no idea. Next is actually my current read, and last year I specified that I wasn't cheating because I already had 2 books filled out. This year I'm fully cheating. It's The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I've heard great things about this book. It came out last year and I never got around to it, but I picked it up. I'm only about 15% in right now. The interview style is reminding me a lot of Daisy Jones and the Six. I almost said Daisy Hates. Daisy Jones and the Six. Next is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I had one Kristen Hanna book on here last year and I decided to add another one this year. And then, like I talked about, Loud by Drew F. Wallow is still on here. It's not the only nonfiction pick this year. Okay, next is our first Frederick Bachman installment on this list. This kind of balances out the cheating thing because I put The Winners on this list by Frederick Bachman. If you don't know, Beartown starts a trilogy. It goes Beartown, Us Against You, and then The Winners. I put The Winners on this list as the last one because it felt like more of a challenge that way, although it's not going to be hard for me to read Frederick Bachman, as we've come to know. I did receive Us Against You and The Winners for Christmas in paperback. The Winners is huge. I didn't bring it with me to my dorm after Christmas, but it's big. So I'll be picking this up fairly soon. This is the only paperback I have that I haven't read here. Anyways, so The Winners is on this list. That's the moral of that story. Okay, then we have The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. This actually lines up really well with last year as well. I had her 2025 release on my list, Sounds Like Love. I don't know when The Someday Garden is coming out, but Ashley Poston has become an auto-buy author for me, even though I haven't loved Novel Love Story or Sounds Like Love. The 7-Year Slip and The Dead Romantics are top tier for me. Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. Like I said, this is now on my physical TBR, so hopefully there's some more motivation there. Then I have The Will of the Many, which I think has a sequel out now or coming out. Again, I've heard really great things about it. I haven't read a lot of fantasy lately, I realized. I actually don't think I've read a fantasy book since I finished Throne of Glass last year, yet the only thing I can think about doing is rereading ACOTAR. So I need to do some reflecting on that. But there's a few fantasy picks on here because I do want to read them and know what the hype is about. I transferred Cold Truth by Ashley Kalayjian Blunt over. She's my cousin. I need to catch up. She has also released another book since Cold Truth, and I haven't read that either. So I need to read this while it's wintertime because that's why I didn't pick it up the rest of 2025. Next, we have Carly Fortune's 2026 release, Our Perfect Storm. This one I think is different than her other books because it takes place in BC, which is closer to home for me, so that's exciting. Then I have The Shippers by Catherine Center. I actually didn't know that this was even coming out until I went to make my new releases post on Instagram, and the only one I could think of was Phoebe Berman. So then I went digging and I found out that Catherine Center and Emma Straub are both putting out new books and they made this list. The last one on this first page is In Her Own League by Liz Tomforty. This is a spin-off of the Windy City series. It follows the baseball coach, is the male love interest. What's his name? Monty? And he's what's-her-face's dad. Or, no, his name is Monty. Anyways, I loved the Windy City series, so naturally I'm picking this up. I'm hoping to see my boys from Caught Up and play along. And their children, you know the one, I don't remember his name. Her name was Miller. Oh my god, what was the kid's name? Kai, no, that's that. Isaiah Rhodes. Kai Rhodes, right? It was Kai the Kid. In my defense, I read Caught Up and Play Along last January. Okay, so that's not bad recall. Okay, next is the Emma Straub book I was talking about, American Fantasy. I think the only other one of her books that I've read is This Time Tomorrow, and I read it in Mexico, so that definitely could have elevated my experience, but I remember enjoying it, so I put that on the list as well. I carried over The Institute by Stephen King. Next is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is the next book I have to finish in the Harry Potter series. Again, I could have gone bold and put The Deathly Hallows, but I really like listening to them on Libby audiobook, so it just depends what's available. Now we have The Hunger Games because, as I mentioned, I have never read any of the books. Maybe if I vlog, I'll be more motivated to finish the series. Next is Born for This by Caitlin Devlin. I actually put this on because I follow her on Instagram and I'm interested to see what her writing style is like. One Dark Window, like I said. There's a few of these that I had to throw on here because I couldn't think of anything else. Like 26 is a lot of books to sit down and think of, especially when you try to forecast your whole year. So I need to double check who the author of this is. I put The Mashup by Laura Marie Myers on here because I saw someone post it on their Instagram story yesterday. It's not out yet. I think it comes out in March, and it just sounds like the premise is someone's like middle school MASH game came to life. So that's like a fun one to throw in here if I need a pick-me-up. Then we have the other nonfiction book on this list. I received The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie for Christmas, so I will be reading that at some point. Blood of Hercules. This is actually one that I bought in May at the BookTok bus, and then my boyfriend took it with him to Ottawa. So it's on my physical TBR, but I couldn't pick it up right now if I wanted to. But there's a sequel out now. I could find it on Kindle. Blood of Hercules is on this list. Then we have Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. I think this is the only one of his full-length novels that I haven't read yet. I believe everything else is short stories. I could be wrong. However, I'm interested to see how it goes because I've noticed that all of my favorites that I've read by him were translated by Neil Smith. Frederick Bachman is Swedish, so all of his books are translated to English, and I've noticed that everything else has a different translator. So I wonder how that's going to feel when I read Britt Marie. I don't know who the translator of A Man Called Ove is, actually, but I also read that in 2021 or 2022, and it didn't resonate as hard as these ones have now. So let's see. See, it was a different translator. I guess I gave it 4 stars. Oh, I didn't give it a review. There is a different translator, but that was also 2022. So I've changed. My humor has definitely changed. Maybe I just didn't get it. And maybe if I picked it up, I would be obsessed. But my gut tells me that it's all Neil. I love Neil. I've been telling everyone. Frederick and Neil. Dream team. Anyways, I could talk about Frederick Bachman books all day. Let's move on. I have to look up the author for this because, again, I just threw this on here yesterday after seeing Sarah Caroli's review. I just happened to log into Goodreads when Sarah had updated her couple reviews, and I saw The Mad Wife, which all she said about it was, if you enjoyed the vibe of Don't Worry Darling, you should read this book. I think she said it's like a 50s housewife noticing things going awry, and I'm not even sure I watched Don't Worry Darling, but I trusted her recommendation, so... Then we have a sci-fi, which if I can't read fantasy, I don't know why I think I can read sci-fi. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I believe the movie is already out. However, I've also just been hearing great things about the book. So that's my motivation for that. And lastly is the other book that I received from Morgan at Off the Shelf Podcast. I won the giveaway for a signed copy of People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. So you can go watch my unboxing video, but basically what happened is I was only supposed to receive the one book and then it got delayed for like months because of Canada Post. So Morgan got it back and sent Heartless Hunter as well, which was so sweet of her. And that concludes my 26 for 2026. I would have had this video made a little bit sooner, but if you couldn't tell, I really struggled to figure out the list. The real problem was I couldn't decide which number of books I wanted to go with. Nothing sounds as catchy as 26 for 2026, but I think next year I'm gonna have to pick a smaller number. I mean, I'm not discrediting my ability to do 26 of these, but soon enough I'm not even gonna have enough room on the page. All right, that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe comment your most anticipated 2026 release, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.